Welcome. My name is Celeste Holly, and I'd like to start our yoga practice today with a quote. Hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. Invite one to stay, by Maya Angelou. Old habits and routines keep us in fear. Habits of stress, unhealthy practices in diet and exercise, use of mood-altering substances, trying to control the things that are happening in our lives. Hope is activated through tools of renewal like yoga, meditation, refuge recovery, 12-step programs, a healthy diet, exercise. Yoga for me is one of those tools that offer healing and renewal. Healing and renewal for the whole self, in body, mind, and spirit. And in the body, we find freedom and energy. In our emotions, we find acceptance, grounding, and accessibility of those emotions. And then in our spirits, we find peace and loving kindness. So I would like to start our practice today by focusing on those healing aspects of hope rather than fear. And as we move into our practice, thinking about how fear can show up in our practice by building resistance, of, let's say, coming into a certain type of pose. And hope can come through our willingness to try. Anytime that we have willingness, we find hope. So let's begin our practice here in our seated pose. Gently close the eyes or set a drishti, a focus point, out in front of you. Sit up tall through the spine and begin to come into the breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And create a 4-count inhale with a 5-count exhale. Inhale and exhale. I like to use the pranayama or life force of Ujjayi breath. And this is where we inhale and exhale through the nose as we constrict the back of the throat. It's an audible sound similar to the sound of an ocean wave. So if that type of breath works for you, go ahead and access that now. Continuing to breathe, inhaling that hope and exhaling any fear, exhaling anything you don't need. I'm going to take a couple more breaths. One more inhale. Exhale all the air out. And that's your next inhale. Gently open the eyes. I'm going to take a breath in, bring arms and hands overhead. Reach up tall. Exhale, bring those hands back down. Let's do 3 more of those. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release. One more inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, release. Let's take in one more breath. And at the exhale, bring left hand onto right knee and bring the right hand behind the right hip and twist. Little stretch right away through the shoulders and the spine. Gazing over that right shoulder. Remember to breathe. Maybe turn up the corners of the mouth. Right away, finding a little bit of joy in the body, a little bit of energy. And then inhale, bring those arms and hands back overhead, and exhale, twist to the opposite side. So coming to the left hand comes down behind the left hip, right hand is on the left knee. Still finding maybe that ujjayi breathing. One more inhale. Exhale all the air out. And inhale, bring arms and hands back overhead. And exhale, bring the hands down to the knees. Let's just roll forward, come into a tabletop position. So we're going to stack the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and setting up for your tabletop. Gaze is down towards the hands. I'm just going to set my hair back here. And aligning the top of the head to the back of the tailbone. Let the feet be flat on the earth. Gaze is down. So here we are, just beginning to access a little bit of our practice in strength. You can find strength and hope, right? We don't often find strength in fear. So let the hands be very grounded, fingers are spread wide. Feel the connection of the knees all the way down through the toes. And we're going to move into some cow and cat. So take an inhale, bring gaze forward, stretching through the spine, dropping the belly, let it be soft. Excellent stretch here in the spine. Take in one more breath, and then exhale, round the back. Bring your gaze towards your navel, stretch up through the spine. Let the head hang heavy. Push up through the shoulder blades. And then inhale, come back into your cow pose. And exhale, cat. So we're waking up the spine, coming into our first initial motion for our practice. Getting that movement in, letting the breath fill the body. Let's do 3 more of these, using your inhale at the cow pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Nice. Come back to your flat back. Gaze is back towards down towards the thumbs. Take a breath in, press into the tops of the feet and lift up the knees. A little bit of engagement here in the core. Nice and strong, release any fear. You've got this. Take in one more inhale. Exhale, bring those knees down. Nice. Take a breath in. Exhale, sink your hips back towards your heels. Stretch your hands out long in front of you. Bring the forehead down. A brief child's pose. Stay connected to your breath. One more inhale. Exhale all the air out. And come back up into your tabletop position. Keep the right knee down. Right hand is glued down into the earth. And begin to spin the left foot long behind you. Coming into a side plank. Bring the left hand up. So this is a modified side plank, Visistasana. Stretch long. Drawing in the right side of the rib cage, lifting the left side of the rib cage. Wonderful. Let your gaze be straight out in front of you. Take in one more breath. And exhale. Bring that hand back down, bring that knee back down, and we'll move right away into the other side. So left hand stays glued down to the earth. Left knee is bent. Stretch your right leg behind you and bring your left hand up. So now you're seeing the back side of me, and we're in our side plank on the opposite side. Waking up our bodies here, feeling the stretch, releasing any fear, bringing in that hope into each movement. Take in one more inhale. Exhale, bring that hand back down, bring that knee back down. Gaze is down towards the hands. Take an inhale, lift up that gaze, cow pose. Exhale, round the back cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Just one more. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Come back to your flat back. Gaze is down. Curl your back toes under. Lift the hips up. Press back. Downward facing dog. Gaze is towards the feet. Spread out the hands. Yes. Adho Mukha Shavasana. Come into the breath. Be strong here. Maybe pedal out the feet a little bit just to bring some motion into the legs. First time in our downward dog in this practice. And then find that stillness. Maybe sink the heels a little bit deeper. Take a breath in. Let it out. Inhale. Exhale through that mouth. One more inhale. Exhale all the way out. And then at your next breath in, walk the hands, hands and feet together. Inhale, lift up halfway. Gaze is down. So straight line of energy from the top of the head to the tailbone. Hands can be on the calves or even down onto the mat. See what feels right for you. Either way is correct, any way is correct, as long as we can create this line of energy from the head to the tailbone. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold forward. And then at your next inhale, very gently we come all the way up. Roll the shoulders down. Hands remain at the sides. Mountain pose, gazes forward. Feel the connection of the feet underneath you on the mat. Draw some hope up through Mother Earth, allowing it to flow through the bottoms of the feet, through the ankles and the legs and the hips, along the sides of the spine and the neck and through the head. Deep connection with Earth, creating that safety and presence on the mat. Releasing any fear as we begin to move in our practice. Take an inhale, bring hands to heart center. Thumb is resting in that heart space. Again, access the breath. One more inhale. Exhale it all the way out. And we'll begin a standing sun A flow. So take an inhale, bring arms and hands overhead. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way back up, mountain pose. Exhale, bring hands back to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach all the way back up, Tadasana. Exhale, hands back to heart standing pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Here we are, releasing our fear. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's do one more set. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, mountain pose. Exhale, bring hands back to heart. Coming back into the body, back into the breath. Having activated our nervous system, activated the vagus nerve, that nerve that controls our sympathetic and parasympathetic systems. And when the vagus nerve is balanced and in correct motion, we are out of flight, fight, and freeze. We are in our bodies, grounded and safe. Yoga is one of those practices that get us there, along with meditation, 12-step programs, connection to body, mind, and spirit. Let's keep moving. Let's take an inhale here. Exhale, find your chair pose. So gaze is forward. We're in a lightning bolt pose, so the knees are stacked over the ankles and the spine is straight as we tip the tailbone. Take a breath in, bring arms and hands overhead as we sit in this high chair. Bringing the arms up helps to raise the energy a little bit more. Raising our energy is again a great way to become grounded, to find joy in the body, to become energetic. Yeah. Set that gaze, be strong here. Take in one more inhale. Exhale, bring your arms behind you into an airplane pose. So arms are stretching out long. Remember to tuck your tailbone. It'll draw your navel in. Yeah. Remember to breathe. Maybe lift the corners of your mouth. Take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale, bring those arms back up. And then exhale, fold all the way forward. Nice job, everyone. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way back up. Back into our mountain pose. And exhale, hands come back to heart. We're going to move into our next sequence. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, step the right foot forward, left foot back. And we're going to come up on the ball of the back foot, coming into a lunge. Feet are about hip distance apart, so they're parallel. They're not in alignment with each other. Hands can stay down on the mat and just lift the gaze a little bit. So being strong here in this lunge. This is a crescent lunge. Stretching through, press the ball of the foot into the earth. You'll feel a stretch in the calf. Nice. And now glue that right hand down, or left hand down, and bring the right arm up. So coming into a twist. Stretching long. Nice. Stay with that breath. Take in one more inhale. Exhale. Bring that hand down. And now we're going to add a little rocking motion on that back toe. So just to loosen up a little bit more in that quad. And then bring that to stillness. Again, press down into the ball of the foot and come all the way up. Arms and hands overhead, full crescent here. Nice. Stay with the breath. Set your gaze. Maybe bring the biceps a little closer to the ears. Wonderful. Take in one more inhale. Exhale, bring those hands all the way back down. Bring both hands on the inside of the right foot. Spin your back foot and then gently come all the way up into a warrior two. So we're setting up here. Spin the back foot 90 degrees. Look over your right fingertips. Arms are parallel and they are extended as far as you can reach them. We have a lot of activation going on in that front right quad. That's to be expected. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring your right forearm down onto your right thigh. Circle your left hand out in front of you. Extended warrior, big, long reach. Be strong here. Let go of any fear you might be having about whether or not you can meet this practice, but you can. Bring this left hand back down the back thigh, right finger comes up, reverse your warrior, gaze comes up, big long stretch. Take in one more inhale. Exhale, find your warrior two, gaze back over the right fingertips, and then straighten your front leg. Hinge at the hips, reach long, bring the right hand down onto the right shin and bring the left hand up high. So we are now in a triangle pose. So we're meeting a lot of our asana right away. Let the toes be light, stretching long, getting warmed up. And then inhale again, reverse. So left hand comes down, right fingers come up. And then bring that hand down, turn your toes towards the center of your mat. Legs are wide. Take hands on your hips, take an inhale, lift up the gaze. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Gaze comes down, place the hands in the center of the mat, head hangs heavy. Turn the toes maybe a little bit more in towards each other. This is called Prasarita. Wide-legged straddle, bringing some blood into the brain. Great stretch for the low back. Remembering to breathe. And then inhale, come up halfway. Gaze is down. And then walk your hands over to your left foot. And coming into that crescent lunge on the opposite side. So now we're on the ball of the right foot, pressing down into the ball of the right foot. Heel will drop. Left knee is bent and stacked over the ankle. And again, coming into that initial stretch, looking forward, finding our lunge, finding our smile. Take your right hand, glue it down into the earth and twist open, opening up with the left arm towards the sky. Little twist, activating those inner organs and our lymph nodes. And then bring that hand back down. Find that little rocking motion, front to back. Again, loosening up in the legs. And then finding that stillness, press into the ball of that back foot. Feet are hip distance apart, and we're going to find our crescent lunge on this side. So staying strong here. Setting our gaze, setting a drishti or a focus point, which again also helps us come down into the body. Dropping down rather than being disconnected. Take in one more breath. And exhale, bring the hands back down, spin that back foot, walk the hands, and come on up into our warrior two on this side. So arms are stretched out in front of us, parallel. Gaze is over the left fingertips. Make sure the left knee is stacked over the left ankle. Press the feet down, lighten the toes, release any fear. Take in one more breath. Exhale, bring left forearm down onto the left thigh. Right fingers reach out long. Coming into our extended warrior. Feel the feet underneath you. Draw energy up from the earth. Take in one more inhale. Exhale, circle that hand around. Release the right hand down the back thigh. Left fingers lift up. Yep, remember that breath. Inhale, exhale, stretch out, warrior two. Straighten your front leg, triangle legs. Take an inhale, hinge at the hips. Exhale, left hand comes down to left Shin, right arm comes up. Triangle pose on this side. Nice long stretch. Check in with the feet. Check in with the self-healing, energetic body. Grounded emotions. Peaceful spirit. Yeah. Nice. Take in one more breath, and at the exhale, come all the way back. Reversing your triangle pose. Left fingers come up, right fingers down the back thigh. Take in one more breath. Exhale, bring that hand down, turn the toes. So again, we're facing the side of our mat. Take an inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, circle the hands down behind the back. Interlace the fingers and gently pull down. Open the shoulders, gaze comes up. Nice. So nice stretch for the outsides of the thighs, for the shoulder blades, and now through the chest. Remember to breathe. Take a breath in here. Exhale, fold forward. So hands can stay at the hips if you like, or you can let them float a little bit towards the head, picking them up off the hips, your hands. Just a couple breaths here, not too long. Final stretch for the shoulders, little blood for the brain. Take in one more breath. Exhale, bring those hands down towards the hips and rise all the way up. Take your time. Turn your right toes towards the front of the mat and step to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring hands back to heart center. So again, grounding back into the body, back into the mind and the spirit. Take an inhale, and at the exhale, find your chair pose. Gazes forward. We're going to move into some little twists. So I'm just going to turn so that you can see me, and you can stay facing the front of your mat if you wish. We're going to take a breath in here. Exhale, bring your hands up towards the ceiling, and then inhale, twist right. Arms are extended front to back. Bring your gaze back towards your right thumb. So we're just wringing out the upper back and a little bit into the inner organs. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, fold forward. So bending at the hips, reaching down for the toes. Let the head hang heavy. It's our first forward fold. Maybe grab your big toes. Really let the head hang down. Maybe the belly rests on the thighs. Bend your knees as much as you need to in order for that to happen. And just sway it out. Maybe shake out the head. Little release for the low back here. Stretch for the hamstrings. This is an inversion. This helps to calm our trauma system, brings our blood into the brain. And then release those toes. Let's take an inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way back up, mountain pose. Exhale, find your chair pose. I'm going to take a breath in, extending the spine a little bit. And then exhale, twist to the opposite side. So now we're twisting left. Gazes over the left thumb. Nice long stretch. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, fold again. So again, grabbing those big toes with the peace fingers. Take that inhale, stretch out the spine, exhale, fold. Let the head hang heavy, bringing some of that blood into the brain. One more inhale. Exhale all the air out. And then take your time, come all the way back up to standing. Roll the shoulders down, be tall through the spine. I'm just turning back into the top of my mat. Let's take a breath in. Exhale, fold all the way forward. We're going to take our right foot, step it forward, step the left foot back. And coming back into that lunge, we're going to drop the back knee. We're going to bring both hands on the inside of the right foot and stretch out long. So a runner's lunge here, a nice stretch for the hips. And you can stay tall here on the arms, feeling the stretch. This knee is bent, our right knee is bent. And if you like, you can come all the way down onto forearms, adding a little bit more of a stretch. So stretching out the hips is a wonderful tool for releasing negative energy and bringing in that hope and releasing any fear. And then come back up on tall arms. Place that foot in the middle of your mat and just reverse your stretch now. So straightening that right leg, lifting the toes, so a flexing of the feet. Keep the gaze down. And then bring that foot flat. Come up onto the back toes. And just step forward. Left foot comes forward, right foot comes back. So just immediately switching them out. Drop your right knee. Place both hands on the inside of the left foot and now finding runner's lunge on this side. So finding that deep stretch in that right quad and the left hip. And again, you can stay on tall arms or you can come down on the forearms, coming a little deeper into the stretch. And continue to breathe. Stay with those long inhales and exhales. And then come back up on tall arms. Place the left hand on the outside of the left foot, right hand on the inside, and reverse your stretch. So stretching long now on the left leg, lifting those toes. Nice. Taking one more inhale. At the exhale, bring the foot flat. Come up on the toes of the back foot and step that back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way back up into your mountain pose. Arms and hands come overhead. Exhale, hands back to heart. And you can stay at the top of your mat if you wish, or you can turn sideways. I'm going to move into a little balancing series. We're going to come into tree pose. So bring all of your energy into your right foot and bring up the left. So the left foot's going to rest either on the ankle, the shin, or the inner thigh. You also can keep the toes down on the mat if you're having any trouble with the balancing. But bringing all the strength into our right leg. Take an inhale, bring arms and hands overhead. Nice long reach. Exhale, bring hands to heart. And release. And then we'll move into the other side. So bring all of the energy into the left foot, bringing up the right. Just finding tree pose on the opposite side. And if you'd like, bring arms and hands up overhead, set that gaze forward. Stay tall. Stay steady. Let go of the fear. Take in one more breath. Exhale, bring hands back to heart and release. We're going to take a breath in. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, lift halfway, and then exhale, come all the way down to seated. And we're going to just come into a little bit of core work. This is something that I always love to do actually in my practice because it helps release any negative energy, helps build my energy, and helps to find a little joy in my body when I'm done. So this is called boat pose. And there are a couple of ways you can come into this. You can have your hands resting at your hips, or you can bring your hands behind the thighs or at the shins. But we're going to lift our feet up. So hands can be here, they can be here, they can be here, or they can be here out in front of us. Boat pose. And I like to row my boat. And so I just bring my hands from one side to the next, rowing along here. And this is our river of fear. So we're going to row our boat through the river, letting go of anything we don't need on the way, just avoiding those rapids, getting past the rocks. Any obstacles that might be keeping this boat from getting to, yep, you got it, Hope Pier. So we're heading for the Pier of Hope along this river of fear, and we're going to get there. We're going to park our boat now at the pier, and we want to tie the boat up. So we're going to come down about halfway, stretching out long, nice long reach, tie that boat up, come down so you can get out of your boat and release. Nice job, stretch out nice and long. Maybe the arms come overhead. Reach them out as far as you can, toes stretch. Awesome. Bring your hands back down towards your sides. Bend your knees. And we're going to come into just some final little poses here to finish out our practice. So one bridge pose, I would like for us to lie here on our backs, bending the knees, press the feet down, gazes up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. Exhale, press your spine down towards the earth, lifting up the hips a tiny bit so the tailbone is rising. And then at the exhale, lift your hips up and curl your shoulders underneath you. Maybe you can reach for your heels, maybe not. Whatever works best for you. Keep the gaze up. And we're going to be here for about 5 breaths. These reverse back bends are wonderful for our spine. It helps to straighten our spine. So often we're sitting in the other direction where we're hunched over our phones or our food or in our cars, sitting in a chair for long periods of time. This particular pose helps to reverse that projection of the spine, which helps to straighten our spine. Let's take in one more breath. Exhale, bring your hips all the way down to the earth. And let's just windshield wiper the legs from side to side. So maybe set the feet to the outside edges of the mat first, and then windshield wiper side to side. Release that low back. That low back. Nice. And then bring the feet back together, knees back together. Take the arms up to a T. So stretching the arms out to the sides. Take a breath in. Exhale, drop your knees to the right, gaze to the left. Some final twists here. Twisting out in the body. Releasing some of the tension both in the spine and in the abdomen. And then inhale, bring knees back to center. Exhale, drop knees to left, gaze to right. This final stretch here before we move into a Shavasana, our final resting pose. Shavasana is that place where we really find our connection to our body after movement. So we've been energetically building in the body, we've been finding some joy in the movement, and in that process, accessing our emotions, becoming grounded in our space. And now we're going to move into that Shavasana where we really meet that peace and that loving kindness. So just draw the knees in, squeeze out one last time, rolling out on the spine. Squeeze the knees in. And then exhale, release. Bring the arms down to the sides. Take your feet out to the outside edges of the mat. And relax into your mat. Close your eyes. Soften your breath. Soften the body. Feel the peace settle into the body. And maybe notice in that heart center that feeling of loving kindness that maybe you've expressed to yourself through this yoga practice. And imagine moving that loving kindness beyond the space of your mat. Maybe moving it out to your family or to your friends, to your coworkers. Maybe out to a stranger, your city, your country, the world. Feeling the expansiveness of that loving kindness. Now let's just come into the silence for a minute or so. Enjoy your Shavasana. And then just gently begin to wiggle fingers and toes, deepening your breath. And then inhale, drawing your knees in towards your chest. And roll over onto your side, right or left, into a little fetal pose here, resting the cheek on your forearm, Take a couple breaths here. And then inhale, open the eyes if you wish, otherwise keep them closed, and just push yourself up into a seated position, stacking one foot in front of the other, back where we started from. And bring palms together with thumbs at heart center. And we express gratitude for our practice, of hope rather than fear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take a breath in. Bring thumbs to the center of your forehead. Exhale, drop the chin down towards your chest. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed your practice, and I'll see you next time.